What do you do with a lone peasant capable of beating back several armed guards with a single stick? Or a mystery pill handed to you from a guy that quote-unquote dabbles in medicine? And what do you do with a drunken sailor? Find out the answers to these questions and more on this episode of Unsolved Mysteries Solved!
Isn't the answer to that third one, like, throw him overboard or some shit? I don't know how the fucking song goes.
You shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, early in the morning, and like several other things. You had his boss as a friend on Facebook, all kinds of things.
That is boss as a friend on Facebook. Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
To the song? Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I thought you were just making shit up.
No, like legit, there are versions that get sung around that have been modernized, and it's the shit. It really is.
I had a really bad one.
Which one?
But well, I was just gonna say have sex with his mom.
I mean, put him in the bed with the captain's daughter, put him in the bed with the captain's daughter, put him in the bed with the captain's daughter, early in the morning.
That sounds like a
legit verse.
Terrible fucking idea.
I know, right? He's gonna get shanked.
Or she's gonna get raped. We're talking about fucking, like,
sailors?
Old-timey sailors, I assume.
Yeah. Generally bad ideas all around.
Anyways,
right. Hi.
Give him the deed to the ship and let him be the captain. Like, equally bad idea.
Equally bad idea. All right. So you just put him in the longboat till he's sober, and it's fine. But
that actually is probably what they used to do. Probably.
The rest of it's just funny. But anyways, hello everybody. Welcome back. I am your... Well, I am Cassandra Cherry, doctorate, apparently, in mysteryology. Yes. And
wait, you only have a doctorate? Oh,
or
wait,
a
no, yeah,
I don't know.
Cool.
Doctorate's higher than a master's, right?
Yeah, never mind.
We're good. We've got so much ADHD brain today, it's not even funny.
Fuck off, phone.
And with me today is my lovely, fantastic, and determined co-host, Dr. Chad Kimmins, who has a master's in gardenology.
I do?
Yes. This is the thing you do.
That is news to me. What is gardenology?
I don't
See,
know.
I'm already
the
calling
study
your bluff,
of
'cause
gardening, I guess.
I'm already calling your bluff because I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Fair and valid. I mean, basically, anytime you hear enology, just think that's study of and put in front of the first word. So gardenology, study of gardening.
Okay. Okay. I was going to make a really, really, really dumb joke, but the moment passed.
What?
So.
What dumb joke? What dumb joke?
The moment passed.
The moment never passes.
It's past. It's literally back over there in the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, back in the weeds.
Back in the weeds with my
gardenology
masters in gardenology. Yeah.
So, today I decided to go a little bit out of the normal field of our unsolved mystery going. And so I wanted to ask you what you know about Imperial China, specifically like Forbidden City, Ming dynasty era.
I know it existed.
Okay. All right, for this particular mystery, I gotta give you the lowdown. I gotta give you the scoop on what exactly was going on. Set the scene a bit.
You're gonna give me the scoop, huh?
Yeah. It's basically sweet potato ice cream. Yes, I love sweet potato ice cream. So good.
If you're gonna give me the scoop, though, do you also want pictures of Spider-Man?
And get me those pictures of Spider-Man! I cannot mimic that guy's voice. He's too iconic. James Jameson, that was the guy, yes?
That's the character.
That's
I can't remember.
The guy, the actor.
Can't remember who plays him.
I just appreciate the actor so much. He was so committed to that role. No other person is canonically James Jameson. It's just him.
J.K. Simmons.
Yes. Good man, J.K. Simmons. Very committed.
It's actually John Jonah Jameson.
John Jonah Jameson. We're missing a syllable.
Well, it's Junior too.
John Jonah Jameson Jr. His name is my name too. And And whenever I go out, the people always shout, there goes John Jonah James Jameson Jr. 2? Wait, I don't know. I lost the track.
Anyway.
Right. So, the Forbidden City is essentially the palace complex used by the emperor and his household in the center of the imperial city of Beijing. It's surrounded by, numerous imperial gardens, parks, and temples, and it was
I apparently know about those.
Oh, you do?
Gardens.
Yeah, you know a lot about gardens.
Supposedly.
Supposedly, probably mostly rock gardens.
Oh, well, I don't know anything about it. I'm not a geologist.
Not a geologist, only a gardenologist. But it was in use as the ceremonial and political center of the government from the Ming dynasty to the end of the Qing dynasty, so around 1420 to 1924, giving you a time range here. We're in the early part of that. Huh?
BCE or CE?
CE.
Okay.
So, World War I, the Forbidden City was still in use, technically.
Okay. Gotcha.
Nowadays, the Forbidden City is, serves mostly as, a museum and a tourist spot, and it's also been classified as a World Heritage Site. To give you sort of a sense of the scale of this place, the whole complex consists of 980 buildings.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It is. Often, ministers and generals would have a home within the Forbidden City from which to do their work in the capital. And there was also an entire section specifically dedicated to the emperor's harem and all of his wives' and concubines' palaces. Peasants and commoners were forbidden from entering the city on pain of death, hence the name. But the harem was even more exclusive, only for the eyes of the emperor himself.
Well, of course.
Yeah, of course.
You don't want your guards and whatnot seeing your harem and getting ideas about harem-related things. Listeners, I am so sorry. I am dealing with the after effects of a really bad migraine. So if my energy is low again this week, I apologize.
Oh, that is wholly understandable. No worries. No need to apologize for a migraine of all things.
I started that sentence, and I was like, I don't have any brain cells. I can't even formulate what I'm trying to say here. Anyway, continuing on.
Yeah, sure. But you're basically on the right track because all of the guards assigned to the harem were castrated.
Eunuchs!
Yep, they were turned into eunuchs, so they wouldn't get any wild ideas about designs on the palace maidens. And usually the maids that were serving the concubines and the wives of the emperor were
also castrated.
Well, no, but they were also noble ladies themselves who were sort of candidates to become concubines.
Oh, I wish they had been castrated too. I don't wish that.
Female castration is a whole other beast.
It would have been funnier.
I suppose.
Were there female eunuchs? Was that a thing?
Not really.
Is that just specifically a male thing?
Well, it's usually a male thing because for guys to get castrated, you just need to get rid of the balls, right? And it's they're sort of dangling there, and they're out in the open. And for a less traumatic thing, you could just tie the tubes, and it's like a snip and a stitch, and it's fine. For women, the process of making them infertile by tying the tubes involves cutting open the abdomen and removing the intestines so that you can get to the uterus. And so it's a lot more invasive and dangerous, and typically wasn't done back then.
You just eviscerate people?
Yeah, how a C-section works, right?
You eviscerate them and then you reviscerate them.
More or less. You literally slice open the entire stomach and remove all of the intestines, get them in a bowl out of the way so that you can work with the uterus.
I didn't realize it was that. But specifically, eunuchs were castrated as boys before they went through puberty, or else once they've gone through puberty, if you remove the testicles, all it does is keep them from being able to procreate, because they still...
More or less. They were selected as youths.
Like if you, it doesn't matter. We
No, keep
spend
going.
way too much time talking about cutting dudes' balls off.
Sorry. But, like, you're right. The process of selecting guards and, like, especially, like, palace guards and soldiers started from a very young age.
Right.
And they would more or less be trained inside the Forbidden City. So they rarely left. But it got to the point where there were so many eunuchs in the palace, and they had the ear of all of the, like, concubines and the wives and all of their families' political backings, that the eunuchs were political rivals with the magistrates and the ministers, who actually formed the bureaucracy.
If there's one thing I've learned, yep, yep. I don't remember where I was going with that. Something about you don't f*** with the help, or I don't know, because the help will f*** with you.
Exactly, you don't f*** with the help. But yeah, so that gives you a little bit of, like, baseline background for, like, the setting we're in. So on May 30th, 1615, a peasant named Zhang Chai broke into the Forbidden City, armed with only a wooden staff, and managed to drive away the eunuchs guarding the palace gates, and broke into Xi Palace, which was then the crown prince's living quarters. Zhang was eventually caught and arrested by the eunuch guards before he could hurt the prince. Luckily.
Did you do this on purpose?
What do you mean, what did I do on purpose?
Like, the anniversary of this will be, like, the yesterday as of this airing.
Oh, that's funny.
Because it's the 27th. I mean, no, it's definitely the 31st. Or wait, are there 30? Oh, no, you said May. It's not May, it's fucking April.
I mean, it's close. It's 1 month off of our anniversary, so let's say I did this on purpose. And go with that.
This is what I'm talking about. I can't think straight.
Oh, you're good. So, at first, the authorities suspected that Zhang was a crazy lone wolf. You know that line about, like mass shooters. He's a crazy lone wolf. But after being repeatedly questioned and tortured by a magistrate named Wang Zikai, however, Zhang claimed that a conspiracy of eunuchs put him up to the attack. According to his confession, the eunuchs showed Zhang how to sneak into the Forbidden City, where he was supposed to kill the emperor's son, Zhu Changlo.
Okay.
In exchange for monetary rewards.
Not just monetary? He wasn't going to get any of the harem?
I don't think so. It wasn't very specific about what his reward would be. It just said he was promised rewards. And I'm like, okay, a little more detail, motivation would be nice to have.
Okay.
But I'm just assuming monetary rewards, because peasants, you know, they're having a hard knock life out there.
Right.
But in his testimony, Zhang identified the eunuchs Peng Bo and Liu Chang, two men working under noble consort Zheng, as the men who recruited and armed him, thus indirectly implicating the consort in the assassination plot.
Okay.
Presented with incriminating evidence and the gravity of the accusations, the Wanli Emperor, in an attempt to spare one of his personal favorites, Lady Zhang, personally presided over the case where the ministers usually would have, and laid full blame on the two eunuchs. Zhang was executed, while Liu and Peng were interrogated and tortured, later dying from their abuse. Although Yeah?
He was just trying to save her from being tortured, I guess?
Yeah, if Lady Zhang was convicted of trying to assassinate the crown prince, she probably would have been tortured and executed.
Okay, so she was executed regardless, but he was trying to save her from the torture.
Oh, no, yeah, the names are confusing because they sound so similar, but Lady Zhang was exonerated. He laid full blame on the eunuchs, and Zhang was the peasant.
See, when you were saying, like, because you said
one
that
letter off.
You said that he tried to really put the blame on the eunuchs, but then you said Lady Zhang was executed.
Oh.
And the eunuchs were tortured. And that's where I was confused.
Yeah, Zheng Kai was the peasant. Lady Zheng is the consort. They are literally one letter off.
Oh.
I don't blame you for being confused. If I mispronounced a single thing, it is so easy to get it mixed up.
Welcome to Unsolved Mystery Solved, where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Exactly.
Okay, so never mind. I'm with you now.
Okay.
I thought you had just said the wrong word.
Yeah, no worries. I don't blame you on that one. That was my fault. But, so, after that, although the case was quickly hushed up, it did not squelch public discussions and eventually became known as the Case of the Palace Assault, one of the 3 notorious mysteries of the late Ming dynasty.
Really rolls off the tongue, that. The Case of the Palace Assault.
I'm sure it's a lot more, like, fluid in the original Chinese, but I don't know enough Chinese to know what those characters sound like.
Well, I'm gonna have to request that you step down because you didn't do enough research to be able to speak.
No, I have more.
Mandarin.
I have more.
Hold on.
Yeah?
You didn't do the proper research to be able to speak Mandarin so that you could tell me what it says in Chinese. So
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't speak Mandarin Chinese.
I realize how hypocritical this is coming from the man who sometimes literally just skims the Wikipedia and then goes for it.
It's fine. It's fine. I mean, I can grab this and put it into Google Translate.
No, it's too late.
No, it's happening now.
You've already...
It's going to happen.
You've already gained my ire.
You have asked and I shall deliver. Google Translate. No, Bing, I don't... Why am I searching Google Translate on Bing?
Why are you using Bing in the first place?
It's the automatic with this particular browser. Tingjian, apparently is how it's pronounced, according to Google Translate.
Did you just repeat it back, like, the way that they said it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Tingjian. I can be the voice of Google Translate, it's fine.
Alright. I mean... Okay.
Okay. So, for his part, Prince Zhu Chenglo professed that he did believe that Zheng was just crazy, and that there was no sinister plot to assassinate him. But this was perhaps naive of him, as he was not his father's favorite son.
That's real dumb.
Oh yeah, real dumb. Because although Prince Zhu Chenglo was the eldest born son, he was born to a palace attendant, Lady Wang, who served under the emperor's mother, Empress Dowager Xiaoding.
And he was constantly trying to get his hands on the harem. You know how every time you present, I fixate on one thing?
This is gonna be it?
It's the harem's the thing this time.
Okay, the harem's the thing. So...
It's usually just the first thing that catches my attention, and that was it. You said harem, and I was like, yeah, okay.
Alright, it's the harem. Which is fair, honestly. And there's something I may bring up later that I found in the Wikipedia, but I didn't put in my notes. But now that you're fixating on that, it might be important.
Okay.
But after it was discovered that Lady Wang was pregnant, the emperor was persuaded by his mother to make her a concubine and awarded her the title of Consort Gong of the 2nd grade. However, she was never one of the Wanli Emperor's favorite consorts, and Zhu Chenglo was largely ignored by his father after his birth. He spent most of his life as a hapless pawn in a power struggle for the title of crown prince. The Wanli Emperor openly preferred naming Zhu Chengzun, his younger son, born to his favorite consort, noble consort Zheng, who you might remember from earlier, as crown prince over the seniority of Zhu Chenglo. But his intention was met with vehement opposition by most of his Confucian-educated ministers, who insisted that the emperor adhere to dynastic traditions. And because the Wanli emperor never had a son with his primary wife, Empress Xiaoduan Xianhe, he had no real excuse to change the line of succession away from Zhu Chenglo by Confucian principles. But eventually, in 1601, the Wanli emperor was finally pressured enough by his ministers and the Empress Dowager to formally instate 19-year-old Zhu Changlo as the crown prince and heir apparent.
Okay.
And so that was just about 9 years before the stick incident. Curiously, Zhu would die under mysterious circumstances 5 years later, after he succeeded his father as Emperor Tai Cheng.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry I'm being so quiet. I'm trying to follow all of the names.
I don't blame you. It's very confusing at first.
A lot of these names have a lot of the same consonants
Yeah,
and are very similar.
yeah.
Maybe that makes me racist. I don't know. I just know that I'm having trouble following the names. So
Okay.
that's why I'm being quiet.
Oh, that's fine. Is there anything you want clarification on?
Who killed Roger Rabbit?
I believe it was the guy with the melting face.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember much.
Well, I guess
from-
we're done here.
Yeah.
Join us next week when we have a brand new Just take over the show. Like, I don't like this mystery. We're doing Who Killed Roger Rabbit. Well, they already solved that. Then we're done.
Thanks for listening, folks. Bye-bye.
Like I've kind of already formulated. I don't even know what is. So we're still in the backstory part. Right?
Yeah, I did backstory on the setting, and then I presented one half of the mystery, and then I did backstory on, like, the prince. And now I'm getting into, like, the second half of the mystery.
Okay. Okay, then please continue.
Yeah, okay. So, Zhu Chenglo was able to succeed his father as emperor in 1620. And the first few days of his reign started promisingly enough, as recorded in the histories. He gave 2 million taels of silver as a gift to the troops guarding the border. Important bureaucratic posts left vacant during his father's long periods of administrative inactivity were finally starting to be filled, and many of the deeply unpopular, extraordinary taxes and duties imposed by his father were also revoked.
Like the tax on breathing.
Yeah!
Like that one. I remember that one was really, really unpopular.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you took a breath, you had to,
Pay 10 cents.
you were taxed 10% of the oxygen that your brain needed for every breath that you took.
Oh, geez. How do you even calculate that?
It wasn't really enforceable, but it was highly unpopular.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was the tax on life cereal.
Life
I don't know,
cereal?
I'm just-
The cereal that gives you eternal life.
You've never heard of life cereal?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it on the stores. I've never had it before, though.
Yeah, the emperor would really like life cereal, so anytime somebody bought a box of it, he got the first bowl, which everybody knows is the best.
Oh, of course. After that, everything gets stale so quickly.
Right. Yeah. It was like Prima Nocte, but for cereal.
Fair. Oh, jeez. So he got rid of all those taxes and everything. However, 10 days after his coronation, the Tai Cheng Emperor became so ill that celebrations for his birthday were canceled.
Okay.
According to non-official primary sources, the Tai Cheng Emperor's illness was brought about by excessive sexual indulgence after he was presented with 8 maidens by Lady Zheng. As mentioned,
So-
same lady from earlier. Yeah?
Oh my god, I'm just like...
What?
So, it sounds like what they're talking about is an STD.
Maybe?
But in my mind, he got pussy poisoning. It's like alcohol poisoning. You just have too much alcohol and your body can't handle it. He got too much pussy and his body couldn't handle it.
I mean, maybe. He now had full, unrestrained access to the harem.
He definitely got a broke dick, that's for sure.
Yeah. And so his already serious condition was further compounded by severe diarrhea after taking a dose of laxative recommended by an attending eunuch named Sui Wengshen.
These motherfuckers are just out to kill him.
I know, right? And so that was on...
One of them's like, yeah, let's give him chlamydia. I brought in this really pretty girl who has it, and he's going to want to have sex with her. So he's going to get chlamydia from her. And the eunuchs are like, we'll give him diarrhea. Okay, that's not really helpful, but I guess it'll be uncomfortable for him.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. And that happened on the 10th of September. And finally, on the 25th of September, To counter the effects of the laxative, he asked for and took a red pill presented by a minor court official named Li Kezwo, who dabbled, quote-unquote, in apothecary.
How does this guy not realize that these people are trying to kill him?
I don't know. He claimed he believed that the guy who tried to assassinate him in his bed at night, that one that got executed earlier, he believed he was just a crazy lone wolf. Yeah, it wasn't Lady Zhang's fault. Lady Zhang's a good woman, even though her son is posed to be the crown prince. If only I were out of the way, she wouldn't do that to me. Lord have mercy.
So I think we've solved the mystery. This guy's just dumb. I don't know what the mystery is, but the answer, this guy is stupid.
Fair and valid. But like, okay, so he took that red pill, right?
Uh-huh.
He was red-pilled.
He's
And
red-pilled.
so it was recorded in official Ming histories that he felt much better after taking the red pill, regained his appetite, and repeatedly praised Li Kezwo as a loyal subject. And then that same afternoon, he took a second red pill and was found dead the next morning.
If you're already cured, you don't keep taking the medicine.
Yeah, dumbass!
What the Oh my god. Okay, so
Yeah.
it looks like your cancer is in full remission. All right, let's hook me up. I want to go again with the chemo. What? No, that's not necessary. Do it anyway.
We're doing it live! Give full radiation therapy for something that's not even a problem anymore.
You know what? Throw some morphine and antibiotics in there too. You realize antibiotics get like less and less effective the more you take them? Don't care.
So that was the much talked about mystery surrounding the Tai Chang Emperor's death, and that became known as the Case of the Red Pills, and was also one of the 3 notorious mysteries of the late Ming dynasty. So we got a twofer here. We've got the Case of the Palace Assault and the Case of the Red Pills.
And
And I don't know about the third one. The third mystery is not a part of this saga.
who killed Roger Rabbit?
Oh, yeah, who killed Roger Rabbit? The third of the notorious mysteries of the late Ming dynasty. Of course, how could I forget?
That guy's really dumb.
Yeah.
He's, oh my god.
So, like, is that just full on your theory? No elaboration?
No, I mean, it's not a theory. That's well known, obviously.
That's a fact.
That is 100% cold, hard, take it to the bank, cash that shit fact. I mean, honestly, I think you said it. Like, it seems like the who was it? The favored consort?
Yeah, Lady Zhang.
Because her son was poised to be the new emperor, but this guy got in the way. Like, I do think that she probably found like a really pretty girl who either had some disease or, I don't know, maybe had a venereal disease or something.
Yeah, something of the like.
And like found a girl that, I don't know, fit his tastes or something, that had some kind of disease. And then, because remember you said that he fell ill after getting pussy poisoning. That's not true. I said pussy poisoning. You said after having a bunch of sex, I think.
Yeah, with like 8 maidens.
Now, are these maidens or just like women?
It says maidens.
Okay, so virgins then.
Yeah.
Because typically in those times, maiden meant virgin.
Yeah. These are pure lotus flowers, fresh for the plucking.
Flesh for the plucking. Okay, what are we talking about now? Was he building some kind of flesh golem? I'm so confused.
I just mispronounced fresh. But could just imagine him making a flesh golem out of like those 8 girls. I don't know.
I bet you
That'd
somewhere.
be disturbing as hell.
Dude, I bet Genghis Khan tried to do some shit like that.
Well, by all
There you
reports,
are.
Genghis Khan was actually a very civilized guy.
Well, reports. Genghis Khan was actually a very caring and nurturing lover. Wait, what?
I mean, yeah, he was like a great conqueror and everything, but like I think Genghis Khan settled down to rule China for a while, and he sent his people out to conquer the other places in his name. But yeah, he was like, yeah, I want to be emperor. That sounds like a fun deal. Yeah, but he wasn't barbaric. He was just, a Hun.
I thought Attila was the Hun.
Wait, yeah, you're right. Genghis Khan was a
Khan
Mongol. He was just a Mongol.
Yes.
Yeah.
So are you sure it wasn't Attila that was?
Oh, I'm sure. Attila. Attila destroyed my city as soon as I put it down. How dare he? I'm going to destroy all of his cities.
I forgot that we had been playing that.
We need to get back into that at some point.
I didn't forget that we had been playing it, but I forgot that happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think it was probably a mixture of things. It was probably her conspiring with the eunuchs, and she probably arranged for him to have some kind of like VD or something from a concubine that she brought in. I don't know where the red pills come in, unless they were like, because he only took 2 pills, right?
Yeah.
Well, then it probably wasn't arsenic or cyanide, because that shit takes a while to kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, if you're doing it slowly.
Well, maybe the first red pill was like actual medicine, and then the second one that he took had the poison because he trusted it.
It's just like a cyanide pill or something.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe someone like snuck in and like replaced the medicine with poison. Because pills back in those days were like lots easier to like break and put back together.
Couldn't have been cyanide, because cyanide wasn't discovered until 1782.
Really?
Yep, by a Swedish chemist, Carl Wilhelm Scheele.
Huh.
But it could have been a poison.
Yeah, it could have been any sort of poison. And like, the Chinese people discovered a whole lot of things that are very separate from our discoveries.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any crazy theory this time.
Okay. I guess I'll be the one with the crazy theory this time.
Okay.
All right. So you know what I think happened?
Fucking mole people.
Fucking ghosts.
You really think it was ghosts?
Yeah, because there's this one thing that I didn't put in my notes that I didn't remember until you were like, well, I guess I'm focusing on the harem now. But in 1615, the same year of the palace assault, Zhu Chenglo became infatuated with his concubine, Lady Liu.
Okay.
Wait, oh, not infatuated. He became infuriated with his concubine. That's entirely different.
Those are 2 emotions that are very close together. They're both very rooted in extreme passion, but very different.
Because I read it at first. He became infatuated with his concubine, and then he ordered her punished, and I was like, wait a second. He was infuriated. That makes so much more sense. But for whatever reason, he became infuriated with his concubine, Lady Liu, ordered her punished, and during that punishment, she died. It was such a bad punishment that she just passed away.
Okay.
And it is debated whether the crown prince ordered her to be killed or if it was an accident, but fearing that this incident would further turn his father against him, the crown prince had her secretly buried in the Western Hills near Beijing and forbade palace staff from mentioning the affair.
Okay. And this is the guy who was killed by the pills, right?
Yes, same guy.
So you think... I'll let you tell me what you think. I'm not going to speculate.
No, go ahead. What do you think that I'm thinking?
I think you think, because you said ghosts...
Yes?
That she came back as a ghost to get revenge.
Yes. So, like, she tried to have, like, her immediate revenge by sort of possessing the body of this one poor peasant who had, like, really good martial arts skills, and, like, just sent him into the palace. Like, that's how he knew how to get in, was because she was possessing him. And she abandoned the plot when he got caught, because it's like, this body's useless to me now, and just decided to bide her time, just regain her ghostly spiritual energy, because, you know, possessing someone in the heat of the moment, it takes a lot of energy as a ghost. You gotta let yourself settle and get some more strength there. But once after like another 5 years when he became the emperor, she's just so mad that this guy who killed her by being a brat, basically, was now emperor. She just decided, you know what, F this, and cursed him to have all these illnesses.
Okay.
Maybe Lady Zhang did bring in a maiden with like a venereal disease, but the ghost made it so much worse.
She cursed him with pussy poisoning.
Yeah, exactly.
I lied. It wasn't the harem. It's going to be pussy poisoning. That's what I'm going to fixate on.
Fair and valid.
I mean, there are worse ways to go. Especially for an allomancer. Not an allomancer.
An allomancer?
That's from a series of books. From an allos... Especially for an allosexual like myself.
You're all of your magic has to do with sex as an allomancer.
Actually, allomancy is it's from the Mistborn series.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
I haven't read that, but I have it on my bookshelf.
They swallow small amounts of metal, and then they're able to burn, quote unquote, that metal to do certain things. Like there are opposites. So like, I can't remember exactly what everything does, but like one allows you, when you burn it, you see lines pointing to everything that's metal around you, and you can push away from it or push it away from you, just depending on like, if it's heavier than you, it launches you. Like you launch the opposite direction.
That's fair and valid.
And then the opposite is you can pull it towards you. So there again, if it's heavier than you, you would be pulled towards it.
Gravity.
And then there's 10, which heightens your senses, and there's bronze, which allows you to soothe certain emotions in people. Pewter makes you super strong. There's one that lets you riot emotions, which is the opposite of bronze. So,
yeah, that sounds really cool.
I believe 10 and pewter, because it's always a metal and an alloy of that metal are opposites.
Yeah.
So
that
I think
makes
it's
sense.
iron and steel.
Opposites?
Because I can't remember exactly how they, like what each one does, but
Yeah,
that's what
fair.
allomancy is.
If anyone wants to figure out more about that, they can go read the Mistborn series.
By Brandon Sanderson.
Nice. But yeah, I think it's pretty clear that we solved this thing.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely pussy poisoning.
Yep. Enraged ghosts and pussy poisoning.
This is so dumb. I keep trying to drink my tea, but I can't stop like chuckling, and tea's really hot. So if I do both at the same time, it's gonna hurt.
Oh yeah, gotta be careful about that. You don't want hot tea in your lungs. That would be the worst.
Or all down your front.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I believe that's a solve. Again, I apologize, listeners, for my low energy, but
Oh yeah. Migraines will take it out of you. Like, I think you mentioned earlier that it was so painful you went blind.
yeah, it just all of a sudden hit me so hard that there's no basically. I went blind for about a good 5 to 10 seconds. Like I literally could not see.
Yeah, like I'm amazed that we're recording right now, that you're feeling all right to be up to it.
Well, the aftermath of it has been a decently bad headache that won't go away, but I've had it for so long today now that I'm able to ignore it enough that I can do this.
That's fair. Just make sure that when we're done, you take a nice long nap. You've earned it.
It's not gonna be a nap. It's gonna be going to bed because I gotta be at work in the morning.
Yeah, and you wake up at like 2 a.m.
All right, so we did solve it. Again, pussy poisoning and vengeful ghosts. God, so dumb. But that's going to do it for this week. And as per the usual, if you have a mystery that you want us to solve, or if you have questions that you want us to answer on the live stream, you can contact us at mysteriessolvedpodcast, all one word, at gmail.com. You can also contact us on Twitter at UMS_podcast, on Facebook at Unsolved Mysteries Solved. And remember to get those questions in by June 12th. And we would really like it if you'd go rate and review the podcast for us. So, if you want to do that, that'd be cool.
Yeah, if you leave us a 1 star, anything less than a 5 star, you're dead to us.
Yeah. We won't put you down, you're just dead to us. But I guess we will catch you right back here next week with a brand new mystery to solve. And in the meantime, between time, it's time for Cass's favorite part.
Don't question us or you will be put down mercilessly.
Hey, she did it right the first time this time, guys.
Yay! I'm learning!
Then I guess it's time to say goodbye. So say goodbye, Cass.
Bye-bye!
Bye-bye now, guys. Thanks for listening. Fucking ball people!
Hey y'all, I'm Kim.
And I'm Lark, and we host Kudzu Killers, Homicide, and Sweet Tea.
Each week we discuss the juicy details of real-life murders that happen in the southern U.S., sometimes with inappropriate laughter.
But we try to be nice. The stories may be old, cold, or recent, whatever we find that perks our interest.
We download a new episode every Tuesday. You can find us on all the major apps, as well as a few minor ones. Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, all the rest.
Just drop on by our host page at buzzsprout.com and pick your favorite app to download us on, and be sure and listen.
And be sure to check our blog at kudzukillerspodcast.blogspot.com, where we have extra content that was just too much for our little show.
So y'all come on, sit down with us and have a big old glass of sweet tea and enjoy listening to us talk all things murder.
Bye now.
Bye, y'all.